Yes, 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 yes. Oh, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. It's been a while. I apologize 1,000 times. 2022 has started with a bang in terms of on my business side of things. So been really falling off. Been falling off the streams. I have to admit, and I'm sorry about that. That's really all I can really say. Is I'm sorry. I want to thank everyone that reached out asking when the stream was coming back. I really felt the love there. I really felt a lot of people were missing it and asking me where I was. Um, Hawiya, how are you, Hawiya? How are you, Sordo Walalo? Yeah, I'm glad you didn't miss the stream either, Hawiya. Sammy, so do Sammy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But with all of the insight that I had and everyone that reached out, Happy New Year, Walalo. Happy New Year to you. Everyone that reached out, everyone that actually wanted to know if I was dead or alive. Um, you know, I want to thank you. And this stream actually is dedicated to all of us. So that really made me question myself. So today, what I wanted to discuss is what's the purpose of Free Somali Minds? Why did I do this for? Because I had to remind myself of why I even started it, right? Almost a year ago. Yeah, I think it was March 2021 that I started this. Yeah, so about a year, almost. Yeah, so about a year ago. Um, there's many reasons, but like many things in life, it fades away. It fades away. Time heals all, they say, right? It fades away, and you know it it kind of takes a back seat because life is happening and things like that. So I had to remind myself, walaalayaal, intaan dib isku xasuusiyo ujeedkeena ayay noqotay. Marka that's why I'm streaming. That's why I'm here today, and I want to welcome everyone back. I want to hear about y'all, man. Tell me how you guys been. Absolutely, I put in the stream link there, so hop on if you want to have a conversation. There's a lot of things that changed, though. A lot of things that changed. I'm not gonna lie. I have to admit I've been more on, like I've actually started using Clubhouse as a podcast uh, that I just kind of run all day while I'm working, just to sense where our people's minds are. Okay, and I've realized something. I've realized that the more the more we I'm glad, Hawaii Olalo. I'm glad. Thank you to Olalo. Big ups to you. Thanks, Sammy. I'm glad I'm back too. I'm really glad I'm back too. And I think Hakulai, sometimes it happens that we, you know what I mean, like lose touch a little bit, or we kind of get busy in life. Marka, but I've been kind of keeping the pulse, so to speak. I've been keeping the finger on the pulse, so to speak, by listening to my beautiful Somali people interact on Clubhouse. Oh Lord, the way they interact on Clubhouse, it's hilarious. If you guys are not on Clubhouse, get on it and hit me up. And it's great conversations. And the last few streams, I have been talking about Clubhouse. So essentially, what I've realized is that the more we talk about something, the more people kind of tend to come to an agreement. Like I think how could we can pretty much talk about anything we want, as long as it's done respectfully. You understand? As long as it's done respectfully, I think we can talk about anything we want, right? Hey, Sodo cows is in the house. Sodo. Um, so yeah, so what I realized is that the conversations, how could they went from, oh, Uncle Dila, yeah, just like book for no reason, right? But it went from there to people actually we kid Dalian, and then they actually start talking properly. Not to say that there isn't still some misguided people, yelling at their brothers and sisters, or forcing them to believe as they believe, right? What I wanted to share with you guys off the head. I want to start this off with as me as new nomad, right? What do I think? My thoughts on the religion or belief systems, if you will, right? Um, I always want to phrase it because a lot of people are too uptight about this whole subject, right? A lot of people are way too uptight about the subject. And I think the reason why they're uptight is because they know they can't clearly justify things. So people just get tense about things that they can't justify, right? My approach, the way I look at it, the way I see it, has been summed up by a comedian that I really appreciate, and it's really summed up very well in this little clip I'm about to show you guys in Ilayar Dawada. Ilayar Dawada. This is a comedian called Patton Oswalt. I don't know if you guys at the North America joke team they may be, but there's a show called I'm not even sure if it's still running, but it's called King of Queens. King of Queens, okay, how could I? Not the two main actors, but the friend that works I think in the Metro stall, selling tickets. That's Patton Oswalt, and he's a stand-up comic, which I really, really, I like. So in this little clip, Heather, he really, really shows how could he encompasses and says it very well. What my thinking is of how could I religion. بالدين سوى ذلك. So دي معي كانوا أركان went I enjoyed 10 years so but إلير داودا and let's have a little laugh. Okay, let's have a little laugh because this little clip sums up very well my perspective on religions. So إلير داودا.
And I'm an atheist and I love religion. I really do. And I don't love religion in a snarky, mean-spirited way. I unabashedly, sincerely love that we have religion. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be here right now, being all postmodern and ironic. There'd be no civilization. If no one invented religion, we'd be fucked right now. Because at the dawn of man, civilization was the biggest and the strongest. And that's as far as we were going to go. It was whoever was the biggest, fucked, killed, ate anything they wanted. That was it. Civilization was a huge psychopath with a club going, I'm going to have rape for dinner. That was it. That's as far as we were going to go. And then one of my ancestors, some weakling, said, look, there's no way I can beat that guy. But what if I trick him into thinking that if he doesn't kill and rape people while he's down here, when he dies, there's a magic city in the clouds, and he can go up and have all the cake he wants. Now, that's not a very well-formed plan, but he went and told the big psycho, and the psycho heard that and said, I like cake. Boom, there you go. That was the beginning of civilization. Now we can work on fire and writing and agriculture. That's religion. It's the old sky cake dodge. It worked. But, and by the way, things were great for a while. But then what was happening was that shit was going on all over the planet. They would just use different desserts. They would tell them about sky cookies or sky pie or sky baklava. So as each of these civilizations grew, they'd build ships, they'd go visit each other, and the one guy would walk off the boat and go, hey, did you hear the good news about the sky baklava? And the first guy went, it's cake, motherfucker, you're dead! And then, oh my God, there were the dessert wars. It was a nightmare. They were just killing people. It got so bad that every now and then some dude would show up and go, hey, I got good news. There's cake and pie and cookies and for everyone. We can all share. And people said, nail him to a fucking cross. It is only cake. Oh my God. The only way sky cake tastes good is if up in the sky, the sky cookie and sky pie people can't have the sky pie. That's the only way sky cake tastes good. I did not spend my life not raping and killing people to not go up in the sky and have cake. Sky cake. So the next time you see some douchebags in front of an abortion clinic or trying to ban a Harry Potter novel, just say, "Oh, sky cake. Why are you so delicious?"
I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I always love that that comparison of religion to desserts. To me, that's hilarious. So that's Patton Oswalt, and he was talking about sky cake. So hope you guys like that, and that really sums up my perspective on religion. That's really my perspective on religion. Okay, if you guys really want to know, right? Uh, Secular Sekai, hey, yeah, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, Cal. That's funny, right? So, so that last part that he says is hilarious to me, especially because it says the only way sky cake tastes good is that there's only sky cake. You can't have baklava, you can't have pie. It's hilarious. It's a great analogy if you think about it, right? It's a great analogy. So essentially, what I was thinking is I wanted to share that simply because I want to come back to the purpose of FSM, right? Just to kind of exploring what the purpose of Free Somali Mind is actually is. So that's what it kind of brings me to. Um, Secular Sekai, yo, welcome, 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 welcome. So the wolf. By the way, guys, if you're up to asking me questions or if you want to talk about things, hop on, hop on, come and have a chat. Yes, Sammy, sky cake, sky cake. Why are you so delicious, Kala? Oh my goodness. So, Secular Sekai said, "You guys have any opinions on Ayan Hirsi Ali and her Ayan Hirsi Ali Foundation?" I'm sure people have opinions about that. And we can definitely talk about that if you hop on Secular Sekai. But I wanted to kind of keep going on the purpose of Free Somali Minds. So there's a few reasons. If I kind of bring myself back to when I had started this, there's just a few reasons for which I started this, and I really really wanted to how can I share with my people, right? And that is also first and foremost the love of Somali Nimo, the love for us, the love that we actually have how can I for our people. I feel like once Iloni, and I believe in that old concept of know thyself. If you don't know yourself, اد اد حط لي كده سابق سكير. So ما تفهم. You also when adigu is get it. It's baro. Adigu is baro. Qofka tihid baro. Waxa tihid baro. Xakat ka timid baro. Waxa is bar. And I'm not gonna lie to you. One of the biggest reasons I started looking deeper into the religion I was born into, and how could I try to decipher it all, try to make sense of it, is because I was noticing that Somali the way silobiyin, dhaqankooda gibi ka baxsanayeen, when how could I Arabi iska dhigayeen, as if they don't how could as if they don't have a history way illuminated. I even heard somebody say Somalis didn't even exist before Islam. I heard that kind of shit. It's crazy. So I wanted to basically Mahakudaye remind people of the concept of a Somali Nimo till we demo. You know, meaning I knew I was made Somali, right? That's the energy I was Mahakudaye brought into this world with, the energy of Somalis. And that's the energy I need to, put out to the world if I'm sincere. I don't want to get too cerebral with this shit, but it all makes I think it makes perfect sense to me. عدو ودانا تزجعلين إذا تجعلان تاسكير عدو ودانا تزجرنين إذا تبريك تاسكير عدو ودانا دي بسجون نقوم ويدي then you're always gonna be you know what I mean that whole concept of when you're pointing fingers three fingers are pointing back at you right and عدو قرت إسلالي عدو قرت كشقاء and honestly that concept of Somali Nimo I think first of all, I was lucky enough to be raised in a family where Somali Nimo was actually something to be proud of, something to you know what I mean? And double like see, I was noticing a trend of forces, dark forces, wanting to erase our dakan, our culture, our Somali Nimo. That's what I started noticing on it personally. You understand? So that's one of the points. That's one of the purposes that I started Mahakadai Few Somali Minds is to actually Mahakadai to actually praise and go back to my Somali Nimo. Okay, so Kyle says Sky Cake sounds so familiar. 99 virgins. First of all, I think it's 72 virgins, not 99. But it's yeah, you're right. It does sound familiar. Um, Zaki Trips has a question. How does me being Muslim make me not love my Somali anymore? Very good question. Very good question, Zach. And I am not saying that it's not because the way you're asking the question is a little bit tricked. You understand? You're saying, how does me being Muslim make me not love my Somali anymore? I'm not even talking about that. Well, okay, you can be Muslim if you want. If me and you are in peace, and you believe that we should be coexisting in a peaceful situation, then there's no problem. There's no problem. You understand what I'm saying? And you and I can celebrate Somali Nima together. What I'm talking about, however, is that there's certain things within that the religion that you believe in, that are not that are not accepting of your Somali Nima. I'll give you a very simple example in Zach. You know what Danto is, I hope, or Zayli'i, or folkloric dances, right? You understand that the way we practice that is with music وحوي يعني دانتا على ده so عم بزيلي عم you know what I mean وهيدي دقن كيني and then you have you have both genders you have boys you have men and women dancing together the women have like braided hair and like دركو يحديه نوا قلت ندي نسومالدا so there's three strikes already when I take Islam and I superimpose it on that culture. Islam's going to tell you no, 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 men and women can intermingle. So yeah, enough with the dancing there. Women have to be covered. So and in some extreme cases, have musical musical harawayan. So there goes your danto zeli'i that is very cultural and that is representative of your Somali Nimo that is now washed away by a belief system that you've adopted. So that's it's not it might not make you love Somali Nimo any less, but it's going to get in the way of you actually practicing it. Well, okay. I'm not sure if you're a man or a woman, but how long will this stream go on? 1 more hour. I may be able to join a while after. See when you can join and join us. I'll really love to have a conversation with you, Zach. But I'm intending on making it a short stream today because, as you guys may or may not know, today is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if people that are watching are from Europe or not or where, but the NFL is a bit of a big deal here in North America. And وأيام عيد وين ولا عيد يا معناتها أو Super Bowl كيف بلامي so I gotta get joined up with my brother and هكذا my the family getting together and watching the game together. So Zach, try to join us if you can. I would love to have you on and have a conversation with you and try to join us if you can. And otherwise, there's going to be other streams. So follow the space. Thank you. So I hope I've answered your question. How does me being Muslim make me not love my Somali anymore? Right? Um, What is FSM? Okay, maybe I should have been more obvious. Well, FSM stands for Free Somali Minds. So Free Somali Minds. So essentially, what the title of the stream is: what's the purpose of Free Somali Minds? As in, what is the purpose of the stream? What's the purpose of New Nomad talking about this? You know what I mean? So there you go. That's what FSM means. Kay says Islam operates as a system that replaces cultures. That's exactly what I was trying to explain to Zach, and that's what I'm against. I mean, you can believe in. I showed you what my my thoughts on religion are. You can believe in the sky cake, sky pie, sky baklava all you want, as long as it's not interfering with Mahakul Hadaye Dakankaga, you're good. You understand what I'm saying? But oftentimes, what I've seen is forces trying to erase our beautiful, beautiful Somali culture. So that's one of the purposes for which I had started this stream personally. Another reason that I started this stream and the kind of made a purpose is that I've been to different Somali spaces before where the conversation was just simply irrational, to say the least. It was irrational. I know personally, I'm not a disrespectful guy, right? The way I approach things is I approach them with respect because I know you can have a conversation about pretty much anything in this world if it's done with respect. إذا قف احترامي يصير سلوك احترامي يسوى ما أدري واحد كسر شيء كسر كرسي واحد كسر حق إسلا إن فلقين كرسي مركا وين لو في سلوين وحق. So I started believing, are my people just not able to have a decent conversation if they have different beliefs? Is that what we're saying? So I didn't accept that. I didn't want to accept that. And that's the reason why I said, you know what, screw this. The internet is for everyone. I can very easily, start a stream where I run it the way I see fit because Somali Banahai, let's take a Somali on Jalahai, but I think we have a problem. I truly believe we have an issue. We have an issue. And if we can't even discuss the issue and we're going to be snowflakes about it, they marka melnis lamagarino, mel lamagarino, haka mun jogina, we're not going to progress. We're not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if we can't tell the emperor he doesn't have any clothes on, we just gonna have to be okay with being refugees around the world, man. Like, listen, what the hell? Mahakale no yala mesha. We have a beautiful, beautiful piece of land, well, alhamdulillah, the Horn of Africa. Blessed. We got longest coastline. We got beautiful beaches. We pretty much pretty much anything that we need to sustain a population of our size. We have, and there's no snow to boot. You know what I'm saying? And we somehow can't make it work. Marka, well, why not really on such a case? So no, let's have a decent conversation. So normalizing respectful discussion amongst Somalis of different perspectives was one of the purposes for which Hakudai Free Somali Minds was created. It was one of the purposes that Free Somali Minds, I felt, as New Nomad, I felt was needed. You understand? So at that Hakudai in Kuson Nodo, let me just read a couple of these. Okay, so the one to diverse it. Okay, it is basically Arabic imperialism. Like you couldn't convince me otherwise. Every aspect of Arab culture is glorified in Islam. 100%, 100%. Right? Absolutely. Cause that's exactly it. So I mean, let's just not sugarcoat it. Like, why can't we not call it the way we see it? You know what I mean? Sani says, as a 15-year-old kid being Somali, I think that we should have our opinion. Yes, I'm turning 16 this year. Man, we got a youngin. We got a youngin here. Okay. You do have your opinion. Um, Here, you can always share it. Here's the thing, though. You also have to be cognizant that you have to have an open mind as well. All right. So don't forget that. Question, but always question properly. Right. All right. So we have Zuliwed. Zuliwed. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Now, how you doing?
I'm doing very good. It's been
Thank
a
you.
long time you streamed.
Yo, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm trying to give myself a lecture here. You understand?
I
Yeah.
think since you live in Canada, you've been part of the protest that was happening.
Oh, snap. Yeah, the truckers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Canada. When you piss off Canadians, you know you messed up. You know?
So what's the topic today?
Today, I'm just because I've been out of the loop for a while. I'm
Hmm.
talking about I'm talking about being, you know, going back to the purpose. Why did I even create this stream? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I wanted to remind myself as to why. Why did I create this stream? Because I felt like I was losing touch, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been busy as well. Business kicking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gotta be on top of that. So I just don't have as much time this time of the year. You know what I mean? But I said you've created this stream for a reason, so I wanted to remind myself of what those reasons were in order to continue on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think
yeah, that's
I have watched a couple of your streams to start off. I
okay.
am a Muslim,
Okay,
but
that's beautiful.
yeah,
That's
I've
good. So
seen.
you Somali?
Yes, I'm Somali. Yeah, yeah.
That's nice. Somali ka hadashaa?
Waan ku hadli karaa, aad baan u hadli karaa.
Waa aad iyo aad way fiican tahay
Ha,
hadda. May waxaan jeclahay marka sahade
ha.
because waxaan doonaya intaan isla sheekaysano markaan isla sheekaysano luqadda maxaa kale afkeena hooyo haddaan ku wara sheekaysano
Aad iyo aad,
si
aad iyo aad.
si kale aan isku fahmaynaa baan u malaynayaa anigu saan u malo laakiin soo dhawow ziliwad maxay kula tahay adiga walaal
Yani horta wax badan baan arkay markaan, like, when I seen other streams, especially in the
yeah
beginning.
which ones did you see? Tell me which ones you've seen and tell me how long maxaa kale how did you
Oh,
hear of us?
the latest one I
Uh,
watched was I think Walk, something like that.
okay reer waq
Yeah. So mostly, I just have one question for you and all the other like panelists that were there.
okay
Mostly, like, let's say you guys are calling upon something that like ancestors or people who lived a long time, what they called upon, and you guys are saying let's go back to that. Am I right or no?
uh what I'm saying is, to be very specific, is that if someone wanted to do that, they should be free to do so. Because the thing is, we have to frame this in a way where
But you guys were talking as though like kind of like supporting it or like.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Because the thing is, we have to be able to go back, but right now we can't. Let's say today I go to Somalia and I say I want to build talo and do Tadisto, I'm Bahero, and
Then how did our people accept it?
okay, so here's the thing. This is a very, very good question because a lot of times I'm asked, well, if that thing was still our thing, why did we took on Islam? And the thought that people don't understand is that we didn't all took on Islam. Some people refused, and they were outcasted. They were, you know what
Well,
I mean?
because they realized
They
that
were
it has no
rejected.
basis.
No, no, no. I don't. Okay, so here's the thing, Zuliwit. What do people realize, what they believe is true or not? That's not the point. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you see something as true, let's say Zuliwit sees something as absolutely true, right? Let's say you see a door and you say, "Yo, new nomad, that door is white." So,
Yeah.
that's what you. That's what you see. You see it as clearly as that. If I tell you no, it's not, and I see something else, maybe I'm colorblind, maybe it's right? And I say it's orange. I don't know if you've seen those pictures that were circulating the internet a while back, and it was like a blue and orange dress. I
Yes.
don't know if
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
seen those, but
Yeah.
imagine there's some people that actually see it as blue, and there's some people that actually see it as orange. So my family, I want us
Okay.
to get to a level where we can say, "Hey, okay, that's fine." Instead of saying, "If you don't see a blue dress, I'm gonna kill you."
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in God? Like, forget about religion, Islam, Christianity,
If you're
Buddhism.
if you're asking me, right, as
Yeah.
new nomad, I've always said I believe I would just
So you do believe in the existence of God.
I believe in a higher being. I believe in a higher power.
So don't you think that that same creator, that same higher being would send a lifestyle for you to live this life?
I believe I have that already.
In what way? How did you get that?
Because it's built into my DNA.
So tell me that DNA, the way that you're built into it. What does it tell you? What commands? What prohibitions?
For the most part, it's a good thing. Are there some things that can be defective? Sure. But for the most part, when we come together, we can create laws. So so that they would actually govern themselves by. The thing that you're accepting right now, and I know where you're going with this because I've had this conversation many a times, is that at some point, you can believe that all you want, but I believe that as a Somali man, as a Somali person, as a Somali people, inaka directly we know what's in it. So what we talk about after that,
Islam did not come from the Arabs.
But
The belief in one God. Look at the essence of Islam. Belief in one God.
We can have a whole conversation about Tawheed and all that. Zuliwed.
Yes.
My dear brother.
Yes.
I am very well versed with this. What I am getting at, however, is that it doesn't matter. What matters is that we accept our differences and our different perspectives. You understand what I'm saying? You can
the religion also calls upon that. La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in religion. So what you're picking up is the
okay, but okay, but ask me the questions for me to be a Muslim. Go ahead, ask me. Do you believe? And fill in the blank. Go ahead.
Oh, to be a Muslim?
Ha.
Okay. Do you believe in the Day of Judgment, a day where everyone will be dealt with in a justice way, their deeds being brought forward to them?
I'm agnostic about that. I don't know
about the Day of Judgment.
So
what do you think happens to criminals?
But that's the thing. See, we're going somewhere else. I believe that heaven, the concept of heaven and hell, and now we're having a whole philosophical conversation right now, and I appreciate it. I believe that if someone commits a horrific crime, right, they're already in hell.
In this world.
You understand? They're already in hell in their minds. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're telling me that the soul is what matters, right? So the experience is at the soul level, not physical level. So when you say people are coming and people are going to be burned, these are physical aspects you're talking about. So I don't believe in that. You understand what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
That's your physicality. If I dig you up a couple of months later, I'll see that you've decomposed a little bit.
But that's
right?
what you're seeing. How about that which you do not see?
Exactly. So it is metaphysical, right? It's no longer physical because you're physical. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Oh, give me 1 second, Zuli. Just give me 1 second. Bohole's finest in the house. Bohole, is that you, bro?
Sorry, bro, man. Why you man? What's going on?
What are you learning? I was having a coming to truth moment. What's the purpose of FSM? You know what I mean? Why did I even do this? Right? So I was kind of having.
I thought.
By the way, I want you to meet Zuliwed, our brother Zuliwed here. This is Barta.
What a show, nice. I thought what was the purpose of FGM? Then I heard FSM. FGM it.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Maybe I'm gonna change the title. yeah, I'll leave it alone, man. Because some people ask me what's FSM. I'm like, you're Somali Minds. I guess I'm not popular enough for people to know.
You don't deserve.
I don't deserve the acronym yet. Okay, yeah. I'll bow down. How you doing, man? Everything good? Yeah.
Everything's cool, man. Everything's cool as always, man.
It's good to hear you.
For having me.
It's good to hear you.
Thank you for having me, man. Again.
Yeah, me and Zuliwe were having a philosophical conversation about the physical versus the metaphysical, and so yeah, Zuliwe.
Yes, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
It sounded like dawah. You know what I mean? It sounded like a little bit preaching.
I don't mean to preach. I don't think. Let me know if I'm preaching. Also, Zuliwed, I don't think he's preaching, but so yeah, Zuliwed. That's what I was trying to get to, bro. If you die, your physical is done. The metaphysical remains. So how do you burn metaphysical? You understand what I'm saying? So I think the concept of heaven and hell and those things, I understand the
But it goes
notion.
into detail very like explicitly in the Quran. If you go through many verses, it tells you like how that happens. So
I
if
know,
you do
but I
reject
first
it,
have to
then I do
believe.
understand. Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
do understand from that side. Yeah.
first I have to believe in this in order to be diving into that story. And I've read these verses that you're talking about. I know that how detailed it is, and it is, in my perspective, is structured to inject fear in the hearts of the reader. That's how I see it, Anigu. You understand? So I see the purpose of it in terms of controlling the people, the masses. You can better control them. That's what I see in the Quran. Because not you, not me, not Buhole, nobody has gone through death and came back to tell us about it.
Well, if that happened, then the whole test, the whole point of the test is over. If someone came to you, let's say, like how the like atheists or people who don't believe, they say, why don't God show like Himself to us? If that happened, the matter is already done. Like your fate is done. There's no point of testing in that matter.
Okay, so but first you have to believe in it somehow. For do you start reading it without believing in it, and then you believe in it after you read it? Nisa, you read it as a believer, and it just reinforces the things that you've believed already. Because I've read it both ways. I've read it
Okay, but
as a
you have
believer,
got
and
to
I've
go to
read
it.
it as a non-believer. So it makes difference. That what you get out of it is completely different. What okay.
Yes, but I understand. But it matters into the intention you're going into it. If you're going to it very sincerely, saying that I'm not going to be biased, because there's many verses in the Quran even says that there's verses which like you will like dot bakad hadai, or like it calls into different, and there's some verses that are very clear. So what I believe is that these people who are rejecting it, they take the verses that like they have different rulings, different matters, and they just focus on that, and that leads them to a path
I
which
focus on that. So
and
what? Okay, so if I show you Muhammad Hadaye a nice chain, right? I
Mhm.
give you a nice chain, and I tell you, yo, Zuliwed, I wanna start selling these. Can you do a little bit of quality control on it at the day today? Some of that.
Mhm.
Marka and Kudibe, and then Zuliwed, you come back and you're like, yo, new nomad. There's there's a little bit of a breakage on that link over there, and over there that link has it's rusted a little bit, so you might want to change these things. Some of that. Although yo Zuliwed, why are you concentrating on the negative, man? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but just
Do you
repeat it
understand
once
the
again.
analogy I'm using? Marka, this is the perfect word of God. I shouldn't even be finding anything that's remotely going against my nature.
Okay, can you like give me a brief examples of things that you find in the Quran that like contradict what you think it cannot come from God?
All right. I'll give you a very simple example. And you know what, Zulu? Well, okay, I want to I've had these conversations
No.
many
Just
a times, so
I
I don't want
understand.
you taking any disrespect on
No,
the things
absolutely
that you
not.
believe. Okay.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So to me, American أخرية محكو لداي إن سورة زيد يا زينب,
Yes.
right? زيد يا زينب مركان أخرية ومحكو لداي مركان إن Nabi Muhammad in Zainab Gusari after, you know what I mean? Like, what I saw Anugu is a very human behavior. Very human behavior. Nick Gabarke, and then used his power to have that woman. That's what I see, Anugu. You understand what I'm saying? Marka Anuguan Makla Intelada, oh no, this is to tell the women or the Muslim people that, when you adopt people, they don't have to take your name. They're not your real kids. If I'm adopting a child, like there's not something wrong with me. Why would God need to tell me that? And on top of that, this is so this verse or this surah, this specific surah, has been around since the beginning of eternity, because the Quran. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, how can such a very specific situation, right, about Zayd and Zainab, but Tabit or Ladilayu, Sihilu, how can these things have existed for eternity? These people didn't even exist. Now, it doesn't make sense to me. First of all, morally, it doesn't make sense that you would want to go with the wife of your adopted son. It just doesn't it doesn't
In
make
the
sense to
Quran,
me.
it goes into explaining, saying that, oh Muhammad, we know that even the messenger himself wasn't comfortable with it, but like it explains, saying that do not
Yeah,
fear the
but
people,
that
because
is
that is most worthy of to be
yeah,
feared.
I know that I know exactly what the
Yeah.
verse says, Zullywood, but let's just take a step back a little bit. Marka al-akhridid, without, let's say you suspend your faith, for example, and you look at that, you say, oh, Muhammad didn't want it, but God that spoke to Muhammad said, yo, Muhammad, you can still keep going. It's okay. To me, it sounds very convenient. Okay, very super convenient for a man that wanted something and then told people he didn't, and then he said, "Oh, but God intervened and said I can
I
have
think
it."
what many people expect of the Quran is like very scientifical, philosophical, very like something very difficult. But the Quran is supposed to be simple, because it puts the person who's a Bedouin or Qufr al-Badi'ah, scientist, all the way to the high. It's supposed to put them at the same level.
At the
So
same level of what?
like the same level of like equality in understanding it. So let's say,
But then why do we need scholars to explain it, Zuliwe?
let's say in the time of like when the messenger was alive, there was Bedouins coming to him, and he will give them just a brief message, and they will accept it without no question. What
And
leads them to that?
my contention with that is Arab la shakaysanasa. In that time, our
No,
ancestors
it used to
waxaan
happen.
uryanani, so it doesn't concern us. Waxa dhacaya halkaasay ka dhaceen. That's not our history. That's the
L-
human history,
let's
but
say
that's
the
not our
same,
Somali history.
in the same way, when these when they went to the like Persian, even Africa, when they went there to Abyssinia, the same way people were accepting it without like being told of like very like in yar bas un baa looga sheegi diinta oo leeyihiin there is only one God, and people like they believe that because there's nothing in themselves contradicting that there's more than one God.
I mean, look, again, I can't bring myself to where you're at to be seeing these things the way you're seeing it. What I can tell you is that I was once seeing it that same way as well. Lakinse, markaan u fiirsaday, it's a lot of things. So that's the reason why. Yo, Bohol Defanis, you want to jump in and maybe
Yeah, that's true.
break
Yeah,
us
yeah,
up?
yeah. Let him
Halasha.
join in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
We've had these conversations at museum, right? We've had these conversations a lot.
a million times. No, horta walaalkii waa soo dhaweeha. He is the type of person aan rabna meeshan inuu imaadabo. Horta waad ku soo dhaweynaa Soomaali kasto meel walba joogto. So do you want us to go back to the mawduuc of today, or mase sheekadana sii wadana? You know, man.
Let's get wadana sheekadan for a little bit because
All
want to
right.
know you
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. Maya, just ani isaga waxaan weydiin lahay wuxuu ku leeyahay the Quran says as if it's proof for people who don't believe in it. Marka, so when you say the Quran says, it doesn't mean it holds any weight for dadka aan aaminsaneyn. So it's not evidence. That it is evidence, then I can bring another book as evidence. Marka wax ma taraysan the Quran says, the Quran says, the Quran says. Ha ku dheeraan taas waa kow. Number two, maxaan ku dari lahay waxay ahayd I'm a little bit confused as to what exactly is going on. Like walaalkii waxaan weydiin lahaa niho aan su-aal ku weydiiyo. If we establish lacala there is a God, how did you come to Islam? Because all the arguments I'm maanta sameynaysid, it can be applied to Christianity, it can be applied to Judaism, it can be applied to all of those religions. So what makes your arguments special? Even
Because it is the only
Absolutely.
it is the only religion that makes it very clear that there is only one God. In Christianity, it calls it to Trinity. There is not that won't make sense to the like the normal.
Zul, are you Salafi? Are you somebody who holds...
No, I don't follow anyone blindly.
I think this man is a secular.
No, I'm not I'm not a secular too. I don't follow anyone blindly.
Okay, Zulu, do you believe in the three categorizations of Tawheed? Do you believe that stuff?
What is that? Can you
You've never
explain it
heard
to me?
Have you ever heard of Tawheed al-Rububiyyah wal-Uluhiyyah wa Asma'i wa Sifat? Have you heard of the three categorizations, the way the scholars of Islam categorize Tawheed? Have you heard that before?
I think I've heard like in a brief, but I cannot go into details explaining it.
But you said Islam was simple, right? So how are they? Why don't you
But
know
in the
Tawheed
way there's like in the Quran, it is, if it does say that, if you explain it to me right now, I can understand it. Okay, explain it to me.
You want me to explain Islam to you?
No, in that 3 you said maybe I'm not familiar with that part, but
their language. Just because someone believes in 3 Tawheed, it doesn't mean they believe in 3 gods. Okay? That was my intention for bringing the 3 Tawheeds. So it's not you can just simplify by saying other people believe in 3 things.
And is that something the messenger explained?
Who is the messenger?
Muhammad. Did he explain that 3?
The scholars get
no,
it from
not
the Quran.
scholars. No, not scholars. Did the messenger explain that and talk about that?
The 3 types of Tawheed, they're found in the Quran. So do you accept the Quran, Adil?
Yes, I do accept the Quran.
Okay, the 3 Tawheeds are found in the Quran. Okay? Okay.
Yes, but you're making it something big, close to the Trinity. It is not.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just explaining to you. You can have 3, and it doesn't mean 3 different gods. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I think he's just trying to explain that
Allah has 99 names. Doesn't mean he's 99 person. So it is the same.
Why not? Why not? Why can't I say there are 99 gods? Look at that and say, Wallahi, Billahi, Tallahi. Why can't I say there are 3 gods? Why can I not say that?
Look.
One second, Zulu, 1 second. Why do you allow... Zulu, 1 second, Zulu. Why do you allow language? Why do you allow space? Why do you allow interpretation for your own religion, but other people, it's very black and white.
Let me see. I'm let's say Zuliwad, right? Can I not be kind, happy, or like you can describe me with many type of like characteristics? Does that make me all of them?
Not necessarily.
So it is the same exact way like that.
Okay.
But I think we can go.
But in here, this. That is just names. So, but in here they say
okay. Zuluwad.
So it's 3 different. Yeah.
Zuluwad. If I tell you H2O, for example, right? Water can be liquid, gas, or it can be ice. Are those not 3 forms of the same thing?
I've heard many people use the same thing. It is not the same. It's not close to it.
Okay. At the end of the day, right? You have that perspective. So Zuluwad, let me ask you straight up, clear cut. Adu Somali ba tahay, aniguna Somali ba nahay. Man ku wara noolaan karana Somalia. You having your beliefs and me having my beliefs.
Why not? What? Even the deen does not call to that, like expelling that.
Zulu, your interpretation of religion, please. I need that the way I see the religion, because there are other Muslims who see things very, very different from you. Zulu, do you disagree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, explain to me the ayah that says La ikraha fi din. How can I force someone else?
People can quote anything. So don't think because I think you've made a certain view or a certain interpretation. I mean, Al-Shabaab, they don't agree with you. Now, you might not agree with Al-Shabaab. That's fair enough. You might not think they represent Islam. That's fair enough. But they're Muslim.
They're killing Muslims.
I understand.
Yeah.
Zulu. I understand. You don't agree with Zulu, I understand you don't agree with terrorism, killing. You believe the Quran's against that. I get all of that. However, you have to accept there are Muslims who say La ilaha illallah, who do these things in the name of God, in the name of Islam.
I do accept that, and I believe every action they do.
How do we solve that? Zulu, you need to speak to them, not me. You need to speak to them. You need to create a stream. You need to fight against that. And we don't want to kill people. Yeah.
Do you think people who are not bigger than me, who hold bigger authority than me, did not call upon to them? If they don't listen, God will deal with them.
That's not good enough, though, Zuluway, because if you're saying God is going to deal with them, let's live this life as we, as good as we can together now. I'm not allowed to hide. Well, the terrorists, God will deal with them, so I can't really do anything about it. Marka, I see you as not wanting to solve the issue that you very blatantly see our people have. So marka wana isku raacno weeyaan hade mas waxaan mas garab galnaayo man ka shaqeynaa oo man xalina misa we just kind of become observers and say, oh well, Shabab are killing Muslims, so they're not really Muslim, so we're just going to leave
But
it
again,
at
I
that?
just-
Or do we actually do something about it?
In the beginning,
Wait,
again,
Fran,
are you guys like wanting to deal with it? Because the first question I brought up was with us and God. So God gave you the right. He says, the truth is from your Lord. Now, whoever so wills may believe, and whoever so wills may deny. So you're already given the choice by God. So why do you need it from people?
But that's
Zuli,
one
whether what
aspect
I'll
of
have it,
religion.
with all due respect, this is a book you believe. I don't believe this book.
But you know, he's quoting one part of the book, all the merciful verses. But why don't we deal with kill the mushrikeen wherever you find them, do not befriend the kuffar? Why do you deal with the other verses on the other side?
Okay, let me deal with those verses. When you're when you're being told to kill the mushrikeen, the whole surah, read before it and read after it. Who does it say? Does it like call onto the common folk, like that are just like or does it call upon to them?
That's your interpretation, Zoma. Yes, it does. And this verse means we need to do these things for all times. Islam is applicable for all times, any place, any time. So that's me and him.
Zuli, I think we don't have a problem with you. I think we can live together. Problem can there's other people interpreting the deen that you hold as violent as possible, and it's killing our own people. So that's the issue we need to deal with.
No, the same way you're. Yeah, go ahead.
There could be other Muslims who see you and your views as not representative of Islam.
Yeah.
Yep,
so,
exactly. You're just in the same boat as us, really.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, say that again.
Okay, you find maybe Sufis or other Muslims who find you, Mr. Zuluid, who find you not representing Islam, that you don't represent Islam, and you are not somebody who should be speaking for Islam. There are Muslims who view you as maybe an extremist. How do you deal with that, Makkah?
How do I deal with
it? And you view Al-Shabaab the other way, and I view you as this way. What the hell, Makkah? This is the problem with Islam. I remember in one of the streams I mentioned to you, Islam maqabto a kahnut, which is like the Pope. Maqabto one person who can say yes, this is official.
There's no seminary.
Everybody can interpret. Everybody can say this is right, this is wrong. It can change. I think he's Muslim. I don't think he's Muslim. Maqaba wah unifying. What do ashab the video? Ashabta the companions, they themselves
where is
the first Muslim war, the battle, the fitna, the first fitna.
The Ridda Wars.
The Ridda is Galisi, but marka is Galisi nayo. When you know listen to this shit. The battle between Ali and Aisha, وحأركي 10 مبشرين في الجنة, those 10 who were promised paradise within themselves are fighting. Can you imagine that? You know, man. Marka dadkaas is diideen is dagaaleen. What the hell?
What hope do we have?
What the get diet, man? Stop it.
You know the story of when the Prophet was sent to like what is it? Let me remember it. Asra al-Maraj. When he came back and was ordered to tell the story, there was people that left Islam because of that. So it does not matter who leaves it for any reasons that their self calls to.
So that's a pretty good reason, though. Like, come on.
A good reason for what?
They Zulu word. Okay, well, okay. Ada mata kuima doku ida first bar raud sabadan tege yon so no they had it. Or not that for the awareness had it. Come on, let's call it what it is. Let's start with the mystical Arabia. You know what I mean? Ada mata kuima do Zulu we do had it.
No, but
I went into space on the back of a horse last night.
No. Not any person. Not anybody can say that. You can look at the person, but this man was someone who was the most trusted. Even the kuffar were trusting him with their wealth, with their belongings.
Zuli. Where did you hear that from?
This comes from, huh?
Zuli, where did you hear that from? Muslim historian Soma.
In what?
That he's the most trustworthy person. Where did you hear that from?
Okay, where are we supposed to get it from? Where do you like that? That it becomes accepted to you?
That's what I'm saying. Where did you hear it from?
Where'd you get it from?
Okay, let's say the Holocaust. They say that.
No. Stick to this question. And Ted Kamakashi that he's the most truthful. Where did you hear it from?
That he's the most trustworthy. It is recorded in history.
Which history?
In the Islamic history.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, let me give you another example. There's people who reject the Holocaust and say it didn't happen because who wrote history? So are you implying that
the Holocaust, you can prove that?
So you can
pictures, we've got videos.
There's videos and pictures in Zulu, but there's no videos and pictures of Ashabihi. Come on.
Maya, Zulu, I think you need to be fair. You cannot quote when you first came on, you said the Quran said this and this proves this. It's called circular reasoning. You cannot say the Quran is true because the Quran says so. You cannot say he's the most truthful because
okay, actually that's different topics that people I understand that. But in the way, let's go back to the first one that I just want to ask, and actually I've asked Newmad, I'll ask you. What is your view on, do you believe in God?
I don't know. I think I'm an agnostic because I didn't so getting sufficient evidence either way to convince me. Okay? I have studied all the arguments for existence of God, that is cosmological arguments, the arguments from design, that theories, the contingency argument, that theories. Marco, we can go into all of that. Like, however,
do you think your research is finished?
No, it's
or
not
are
finished.
You still continuing?
No, I will be continuing for life. Who would say yes? I'm done.
I respect that. Yeah, I respect that.
Who's crazy
no,
enough
because
to say
there's
that?
hardcore atheists which they say like he just
Zulu. Do you know what an atheist is? Can you tell me? Can you define for me?
The way I understand it, or
whatever. What's the shakesana? Mesha let's gather. Mesha right or wrong. Mesha.
Yeah, let's gather. قلبي فرق الشكيسة.
An atheist محل وامنسنها يوقف إلهي ديتسن وأنا أمنسنين إنه إلهي بجرين.
هي أدان كنا فكر كاس صح ما أدان كنا كوران.
Well, you can convince me. You can explain it to me. I will be listening.
dhib male atheist anigu waxaan u qaadnaa ama sida ay isku yaqaan horta atheist diin maaha book la yiraahdo kitaab al-atheist ma jiro kitaab al-mulhid ma jiro ifante ko labo atheist waxa la qofkan ku qancin ilaahiyada loo soo bandhigay fiiri hadda Zulu adiga you are an atheist. I don't know if you know that or not.
Is that not agnostic?
No Zulu, I don't know if you know this. You are an atheist as well. Ma la socotaa?
How am I an atheist? Explain to me.
Okay. There are 4,000 gods, okay? You've denied the existence of 3,999, okay? The 3,999 actually hakata mulhid. You're an atheist according to them. Would that be
of course,
correct?
they will consider me a kafir. They will consider me a kafir just like I will consider them as a kafir.
Okay, but they consider you somebody who denies the existence of their God. So
that's what a kafir is. They just as they would consider me as a kafir, I consider them a kafir.
You guys should see the clip I played at the very beginning. Sky cake, sky pie, and there was sky baklava. It's a funny clip.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, you've confidently denied the existence of 3,999 gods.
Hey, go on. No, go on.
What I'm saying is that kasi waxay ku leeyihiin adiga waxa tahay qof who denies the existence of those gods. Okay.
Everyone will see, right? When you die, akhirah doesn't even start in the day.
Including you,
when you die.
Including you,
yes, everyone will see their own way.
Okay.
You will see reality.
Okay. Marka an atheist just waxay tahay qof aan ku qancin de adilada ama daliilka ama cadeymaha loo keenay oo macnaha ilaahada. Atheist waxaa jiro kuwa la yiraahdo I don't know if you've heard this categorization. waxaa jiro global atheist and local atheist. A local atheist denies the possible existence of a particular god. مثلا waxaan dhihi karaa the God of Islam is not true. It doesn't mean he denies the others. cadeynu ma hayo.
Localized, yeah.
Localized. Kan kalena waa global wuxuu dhahaa maba jiri karabo. Waliba Zulu waxaan ku leeyahay yeah, sorry Nino man, sorry.
Zulu would know isagu waa local marka atheist yahay.
Waa local. Everybody at some levels is a local.
I am a Muslim. That is why
No, you're a local atheist. I don't know if you know that.
No, I'm a Muslim. That is what you say, and this is what I say.
وأجد حقص لها دينا زلي ولا كقص ليه مركا أنا حال يجيني ما قال بعدها مركا سيدي مي قال me Somali ما نهاي and I've had people get pissed off at me because they're like no قال بعدها أقبل إنت قال طيب أنا حال no Somali ما نهاي قال به so you know what I mean مركا عندي يحك ليه بوها local atheist بعدها أنا حال Muslim ما نهاي مركا these are all labels we can just throw these around all day
Sa'a Hinduga that did it. You're a local atheist. If you don't believe Sa'a or Hinduga Abudan, you are a local atheist because you deny the existence of a particular God. Don't be scared. Join the club.
عادي مو قررنا صعبة بينا زلي وين
I understand where you're going with it, but doesn't mean I agree with it.
But why don't you? How do you disagree with it? Maybe I want to hear that. Yeah, how do you disagree?
Because I do believe that I'm not the first person to tell you this. Not only Muslims call to this, you will see scientists call to this. You will see like people from many different communities call to this. That as someone's like original innate belief is that there is only one God, and it is only after they grow up or that they try to like diverse from that way. But you are born with the belief of there being one God.
Hi, the scientists, do they say that God is Allah?
You have got to research. You have to, what was it? There's many scientists that came to the conclusion, yes, that Islam is and that.
Really?
They say the God in Christianity, the God in, what was it? In that Moses was calling to, that was Allah.
Well, okay, I'm going to have to call you out on that because scientifics don't usually refer to religion as sources.
Not all scientists are the same. There's many different scientists.
Okay. Well, look, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it comes down to perspectives.
Hey.
So, Anugu, just to kind of wheel us all the way back in a little bit, one of the purposes for Free Somali Minds was to normalize these conversations that we're having. And one day, I hope, Jania Intanu, Sheko, and I can Ushake, Sankara, no Inoko, Samaha, Little Beach, I'm a bit beach joking. Or Shahabin. That's my hope.
As you said, okay, but when I give you the example, you said scientist. So how about if I give you the name of that scientist, so maybe you can research him?
Sure, well,
that's fine.
Yeah, he's doing the back shots.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. Have you ever heard of the French scientist, Dr. Maurice? I don't know how to say his last name, but who, after examining like the pharaoh's body, he became Muslim? Have you ever heard of that story?
But I feel Iman, belief and knowledge isku mid ma aha moogtahay walaal adiga waxa rabta waa aamini kartaa nin waxaad ii keeni kartaa a Nobel Peace winner who's a Jew who believes in Judaism. What does that prove marka maxay caddahay?
He researched the Quran. He said he compared the Quran and the modern science, and that led him to becoming Muslim.
So do you think that's proof for Islam, Makkah? Science?
I'm not saying that's proof of Islam, but you said give me scientists that call to this, right? So I'm just giving you an example of that.
No. Did you say give me a scientist?
Maybe it's the way I understand.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Nobody said give us a scientist.
Okay, then it's the way I understood it.
ما دب فيري نينو ما دكسو عقر موضوع of free Somali man دكسو عقر
أي كسر
horta زول horta كسر دوينا مشان ما it's not
باكي وبغواكي سودو
مشان ما declaration والدين الإسلام كمعناها معارض لويها ما كو
okay I can give you many streams that you guys have done that there's like anti-Arab, anti-Muslims.
Zulu, please let me speak.
All right.
I like that you equated Muslims and Arab, by the way.
Go ahead.
Zulu cut the mail. What's so good? Okay.
I understand that. I got it.
Okay. meesha ma aha dagaal hadda adiga fiiri sida diinta islaamka adiga aad u bandhigayso waa si qurxoon waa si aan dareemi karo lagu niqaashi karo safe ma wadatid so anagu ma la dagaalamayno diinta islaamka midaan adiga wadatid okay mana ahana our aim in a dadka ka dhigna ex-Muslim ama in diinta islaamka laga baxsho that is not the aim waa 2 3 ma aha to cause division waa midka saddexaad laakiin I tell you what we're trying to do is to combat waxa la yiraahdo radicalism mi fahanti radicalism waa taqaanaa saameynta ay ku leedahay mujtamaca especially in the west in Somalia 2 waxa weeyaan inaan wax yar dibcino discrimination waa faquuq itakoorida ma garatay 3 waa inaan awoodno inaan challenge garay karno walaal discriminative things oo ku yaalo the culture dhaqankeena Soomaalida xataa iyo diinta Islaamka waxyaabaha oo mucaarad ku ah 21st century miifante inaanu wax ka sheegi karno inaan naqdi karno inaan taxliili karno that we can criticize. And the last thing aan ku dari lahaa Nino waxay tahay I think the aim of this platform should be to provide a safe space for Soomaalida dhan ha noqdaan moderate Muslims ha noqdaan cilmaaniyiin secularist ha noqdaan waaqist ha noqdaan LGBT wax kasta oo qofka Soomaaliga wax kasta oo aaminsan yahay.
That was my third point, Boholo, to provide a space for a healthy exchange of ideas.
Sorry.
No, it's perfect. So I want to make it organic. I'm not going to go by the script. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Marcus the one so the Wayne in them حكوا ده ولا لهين إن واحد دونا من سنادن وعلى بدنا حن كبرتي إن مسيحيين أو صومالي مسيحيين or so the Wayne. I don't have to believe in their God or in Christianity.
You know, Matt. Do you know what was one of the biggest effects on me, Aniga? Yeah. A couple of years ago. Well, Zulu maybe حتى وحوى كيف أيدي كتاعدي. I think when I started to come into this conversations without having the mindset of a debate, but having the mindset of a discussion, وحوى بركة تعمي فهمت. Like if you come in with the mindset aniga ba debate sameynaya qofan ka badinaya doodan raynaya.
No,
you Zulu adigu ma haysto aniga iska hadlay me I'm talking about myself Zulu ana iska hadlay markii aan isdhihi jiray doodan rayna I learned nothing. Okay, but however when I came in a macnaha discussion ka qayb qaato oo wax barto ama dadka iga faa'iideystaan ama dadka faa'iideeyo then I believe aniga wax badan ba iska bedelay. So Nino ma taas ma ku sheegi lahaa.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. waxaan doonaya intaan weydiiyo Zulu weydiiyo Boholo hade in Zulu wedan loogu bilow. What do you think of Western Somali view wuxuu question soo qoray? Though I'm not a Muslim, I don't believe we non-Muslim Somalis should challenge Muslim Somalis. Sidee kula tahay adiga in Zulu wedan?
Well, does he mean just Muslim Somalis or all Muslims? When he clarifies here saying Muslim Somalis, my question would be back to
I think
him,
he's
like,
talking
why,
about. I think he's talking about.
No,
I think he's talking about Mahakudadaye in just Somalis in Somali context.
Yeah.
He says, though I'm not a Muslim, I don't believe we non-Muslim Somalis, non-Muslim Somalia, should challenge Muslim Somalis. So me, Anigo Mahakudadaye non-Muslim or Somalia. Should I not challenge you or Zulu with a Muslim?
No, you absolutely have the right to.
Thank you. That's refreshing. Bohol, I disagree with my brother Western Somali view.
I don't really understand. Though I'm not a Muslim, I don't believe we non-Muslim Somalis should challenge Muslim Somalis. In the West, Somalia, I don't really.
Yeah. So I think he's just saying leave Somali Muslims
what do you mean,
alone, essentially. So I think that's what he means.
Maybe
no, actually,
I disagree.
Maybe,
as for me,
okay. Sorry, Zulu. Sorry,
okay. I came here for one reason today, and that was actually to just make it clear and ask you guys one question. And I'm like happy you guys answered it. So that was the question I started with, saying that if you guys reject Islam, you guys believe in God, and I've got your answers and many others here. So that is what I wanted to know, and I got it. So thank you very much for answering.
Of course, and you're welcome, on the stream. If there's some things that you want to talk about, and maybe I think I should maybe tell you a little bit of what the next stream is going to be about, or one of the streams that I'm preparing. And again, I say these things because I want you to hear me, but my aim is not to offend you at any point, okay? I want to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, in Sharia law, right? So one is man-made law, and one is believed by some that it's from God, right? So that's what I was thinking. Zulu I think I'm going to shoot for another 20 minutes or so. Then I have to hop out. But I hope it was clear by this thing that Zulu.
No problem. It was a good discussion, yes, as you said. Yeah.
يركض وحي نو يمدي منك secular Sakai. So do is that you? Secular Sakai. Can you hear us? Secular Sakai, can you hear us? You're on
Yeah,
mute
can you hear me?
or come out of mute. Yes, how are you? Yeah, I don't know if anybody else can hear. I can't hear you, bro.
I can't hear him. I can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I think there's a delay.
I can hear
Okay.
him. I can hear him now.
I just heard him as well. Okay. Well, welcome. We'll try and make it happen. If you wanna hop off and hop back on, sometimes that fixes the problem. That's the extent of my tech support. I'm not going any deeper than that. Yeah, sort it out, goddammit. I don't know what to tell you. Right? Yeah, it's a bad lag, Breed. Yeah, it's a bad lag. So hop off and hop back on in secular Sakai. So yeah. So that's going to be in an upcoming stream, so you can tell me what you think.
It's amazing, man. It's a good topic.
Yeah, I just want to have that conversation. Like, I truly believe that there's more and more of our Somali people welcoming these conversations, as long as it's made in sincere, in the spirit of sincerity and actually wanting the best for our people. This is a lot of Somalis are up for it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to typecast all Muslims in that's fringe minority that are blowing themselves up. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to have a good conversation, and it's okay that we have different ideas. We can still coexist. So that's basically the purpose of Free Somali Minds. But it was also to encourage the knowledge of Somali Nimo and basically the evolution of the Somali mind, where we came from. One is Barano. So Zuliwed, what are your thoughts on that in Somali Nimo, in Islam Nimo? Do you think they're on a collision course or no?
Sorry, if I just repeat the question, do you mean like?
Yeah, I mean in Somali Nimo and Islam Nimo. As a Somali Muslim, do you think your Dakan and your belief system are in a collision course?
No, they're not.
Okay. All right, let's
and
see.
I think most of the people that say like dadka diinta ka baxay markay dhahaan qofkani
yeah, we
Somali
can
ma
hear
aha.
you. We can hear you, secular Sakai now.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome to the pitch. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm good. How are you?
Great, bro.
Yeah, I missed some of the stream just because I got busy with some stuff over here with family.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to hop on before you guys finished.
That's awesome. When did you hear of us, and how long ago have you heard of us?
I think you guys just kind of randomly came up in my YouTube feed because I visit and talk with a lot of other like secular, atheist, agnostic, freethinker channels.
Okay. Are you Somali yourself?
No, I'm not. But yeah, I just like to be supportive of other people with similar thoughts all around the world.
That's awesome. What is your background, if I may ask? But you know what? That's not even important. As long as you understand that the thought processes and the way we now gather around ideas, that's beautiful. Go ahead. I interrupted you, bro.
No, I was just saying, I just wanted to welcome him, and it's refreshing to see people supporting freedom, liberty, and free speech movement. I was going to add that, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I agree. So yeah, I guess regarding, so there are a few people from Somalia. I travel a lot, and one of the cities that I go to has a large population of people from Somalia there.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had a chance to talk to someone who is atheist, agnostic, apatheist, just irreligious in general from Somalia. So I guess I know a little bit about the country. I guess I just had a few questions, the specific that I'd always wanted to ask
Please shoot
discuss
your
with somebody.
yeah, and you have the luxury today of having the perspective of a Somali non-Muslim and a Somali Muslims. So you have both perspectives. So go ahead, shoot. What is your question?
Perfect. Well, I guess the first one was more about religion, and the second one was more about politics, just like for education or to get a Somali person's perspective.
Okay.
So the first one was about regarding atheism and Somalia. The only person I personally have known from Somalia, well, okay, not personally known, but that I know about from Somalia,
Ayan Hirsi Ali.
Ayan Hirsi Ali. So I guess I was curious what inside of the Somali Muslim and non-Muslim, ex-Muslim communities, how is she usually regarded or viewed by people? I guess so. I guess
Huh.
that's three.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So do you want the Muslim perspective or do you want the non-Muslim perspective or both?
Both.
All right. Well, I'll let Buhole and Zulu to go first.
I love how you presented this as.
You like that, huh? I'm getting good at this, man. Go ahead.
I love it, man. I can give you both. It doesn't mean no man. I can't do both. I can put on both hats. Okay, I can see it from both sides. Okay, from the Muslim side, obviously she's seen as an apostate, as especially apostasy is even worse when it comes to women. It's like, how dare you go out of the herd? You know what I mean? So she's seen as somebody who has not only left the fold of Islam, she has insulted God, she has insulted the Prophet, and a lot of Muslims would call for her death, because a lot of Muslims in Somalia, they hold the radical view that the penalty for apostasy is death. Okay, the fact that she then went to Europe doesn't really help her case, and I think there was a point where she had 24-hour security in Holland because they couldn't guarantee her safety, and then she moved to the United States. And yeah, I mean, so it's apostasy plus she's a woman plus she's insulting the Prophet. It's not a good mix.
Right. Yeah, because I know that in addition to being atheist, she kind of has an anti-theist view, very against religion and theism in general.
Yes, and there's one more thing as well. She kind of talks about FGM, so she kind of brings out all of our bad. She kind of brings out.
Airs the dirty laundry.
The dirty laundry. Yes.
You can be an atheist, just don't talk about FGM, don't talk about ignorance within Somalia. Please, you know.
Yeah.
So she's kind of mixing not only atheistic beliefs, on top of that, yeah, she's challenging the clerics, she's challenging Somali social structure, the social fabric of Somali society. So she's just a taboo everywhere.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But as the Somali ex-Muslim community, however, I think there is several camps.
Trailblazer,
yeah. There's several camps. There's a camp that think that she's sold out to the right wing, that she's now becoming the enemy. There's a side that thinks that she's a prophetess, woman that follows exactly what and says what she means and means what she says. Others that just see her as an intellectual. So there's many different ideas. My personal view of her, I believe her to be a headstrong woman that is a trailblazer. Absolutely, that's what I truly believe of her. So I don't have to agree with everyone 100%. I don't even agree with myself 100% most of the time. So it's okay. But overall, that's someone that I would love to have a conversation with and sit down with and pick her brain. I think she's a brilliant mind and a pride of Somalis. Personally, that's how I see it.
Yeah, same. No, I mean, same here. I think that if you watch some of her earlier interviews when she first got involved with activism work and in Europe and then in the United States, like her early, I guess maybe not hostility, but very, very open rejection and and encouraging rejection of religion, that assertive, thought pattern on it is very, very present and was very jarring for some people. But I think that if you watch a lot of her more recent work, and especially her work with the foundation that she made, because like you said, she calls out things that kind of need to be called out, like FGM and honor killings and other issues like that. I think it's really good. It's fantastic work that she's done.
The other problem that I think that people have with her is, see, the problem is people cannot see how, if a person was to leave the fold of Islam or Islam itself, that they could have good motivations. You see, there's always like a sinister, money grabbing, power hungry. There's always this belief that this person is doing these things in order to gain some monetary value. So it kind of puts a cloud over her intention in the Muslim community.
Which is hilarious to me, because there's some chefs actually charging $100 for half an hour out there online, and it's funny. They're making money. They're caking on religions, but nobody says anything about that. It's funny.
The funny thing
I wanted to answer to Kate and Pat. Said you should make it easier for us to donate through super chats. Love your channel. One love, my peoples. I want to say that unfortunately I can't do the super chats because I'm not at 1,000 subs yet, believe it or not. So please share it, upvote it, put it in different places so that we get more subscribers. Then I'll be able to activate those things. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
One of the most profound things that she said, I don't know if you heard this secular mind, right? Secular, what's his name?
Oh, secular Sekai.
Secular Sekai. One of the most profound things that she said, which kind of I found amazing a couple of years ago, or the first time that I saw something about it, was she kind of questioned how people in Somalia die of malaria. So because we didn't really understand how malaria works or how mosquitoes work. So what would happen is someone would get ill. When they get ill, you take them to the cleric. The cleric, you give them some money. And we didn't have the common sense to dry up the swamps. We didn't have the common sense to understand how mosquitoes lay eggs. So she's kind of given us basic, elementary school level science that we couldn't really comprehend.
That's it.
Yeah, definitely agreed. So yeah, I guess that was the first question. I just wanted to pick you guys' brains regarding it, because I know that she is a polarizing figure.
Hey, you're breaking up, secular, or is it just me? Is he breaking
up? He's breaking up. Yes.
Oh, I'm breaking up. Can you still? Oh,
now
can
you're
you hear
good.
me still?
Now you're good. Yeah,
okay.
Good.
Oh yeah, yes. So that was my first question. Just wanted to pick your brains because I know she's a polarizing figure in some circles. And the second question I had was actually just out of curiosity, hoping you guys could educate me on it a little bit, because I know a little bit about this, but not a lot. The Somaliland ongoing issue.
Oh, secular Sekai. We're not getting into that. We're not. Bless your heart, but we're not getting into that.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
As if Somalis are not divided enough, right?
Secular Sekai. It's like going up to Koreans and asking them about North Korea and South Korea. What do you think about this?
Right. Yeah.
Some Northerners would get upset with that bull.
Oh, sorry.
Analogy.
Did I offend already?
Kim Jong-un. Hilarious. No. I'll say this, secular Sekai. And we're laughing here, but it's a very serious conversation. And honestly, to me, the importance, I don't care if it's 2 states, 14,000 states, as for me, Somali Nimo is the common denominator that I actually put my emphasis on, right? Because I'm here in Canada, a lot of our viewers are in UK, America, whatever, but we still have this common thing together, right? And so, and that's why I call it new nomad, right? Because I come from nomads, but there's a new, way of being now, right? So that's political. I'll leave the politics aside. I'd rather talk about my people and having ways to join us. And I'll tell you a funny anecdote about Somalis, because there's 5 Somalis. Okay, there's 5 Somali regions, right? So there's Djibouti, there's what's known as Somaliland now, what's known as Somalia, NFD, which is northern Kenya, and there's the Ogaden region, which is occupied by Ethiopia. Okay, so those are the 5 Somalis, or the 5 Somali regions per se, right? So then on the on a lot of the Somali, territories flags, there's a 5-corner star that's on it. That star, that 5 points of that star represents the 5 Somalis. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Oh,
But the irony of it is that it's on several different flags. so it's kind of like calling on unity separately. And that is the essence of what it is to be Somali. We are people divided amongst ourselves and within ourselves. So that's, at least that's my perspective. Buhali, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, but this will get into like politics and equal
let's skip it.
Distribution
let's
of
skip it. But I hope you kind of got a sense as to how Somalis are. But it's a rich culture, bro. Somalis has a rich culture, and that brings me to another point as to why I started this channel, and it was to encourage the knowledge of Somali Nimo, of the Somali people. Because we come from poets, from a nation of poets, most of our history is locked into poems, as opposed to accounts that were written down. Like the earliest accounts that are written down are not from Somalis; they're from visitors of Somalis, like in the Batuta, so Lewis guy. There's several people that went through it, and so the nations or the civilizations that had the written language would have talked about the Somalis, right?
Gotcha.
But what I want to do is essentially bring our own narrative forth.
That makes sense.
That takes some, it's challenging because a lot of our history is locked up in poems, right? In what we call gabays. So there is some efforts being made to unlock that wisdom that's locked into gabays and actually transcribe it and make it into the written word now, which I think is going to help greatly the growth and the knowledge of thyself of my Somali people. So man, so
definitely.
That's one of the purposes for why I created this channel personally. And another reason why I created this channel was actually to keep myself sane. Because I'm talking, man, like every time I meet a level-headed Somali person, regardless of their viewpoints, that I can have a conversation with, it kind of reignites a little bit more faith in my people. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost therapeutic. You understand what I'm saying? So today I wanted to talk about and remind myself as to why I even started this channel. And and I think it's good sometimes because I've been slacking the last few weeks, right? So essentially, I'm trying to do a little bit of a mea culpa here and remind myself as to why I even started this. But Secular Sekai, I want to thank you for your questions.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess this is a really fast question. Just curious because the second one was a little too political. This is more like a history question. Because the modern Somali flag, it looks very similar to another flag that some people still fly around the world. Has anyone ever have you ever met anyone who compares it to or confuses the Somali flag for the old flag from the United States?
Texas, right?
Yeah,
Texas.
the Bonnie Blue flag.
But are you in North America in Secular?
I travel a lot right now. Right now I'm traveling through North America. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that knowledge is really just on this side of the pond. I don't think a lot of Europeans even see that or ponder on that, or and even
Yeah.
less Africans. You know what I mean? So
do you remember
go ahead,
do you remember a couple of streams ago when I posted the Imperial Royal Italy's previous kings and queens? They used to have a blue flag. Do you remember when I was telling you about that?
Yeah. I remember
So I put it into the back chat. If you click on the link, that will kind of explain everything.
Okay.
Well, let me. Yeah, I remember that. Thank you so much. Let me share it for everyone to see. I'll just share it.
So we kind of pretend that it's unique and we came up with it, but in reality, it's like almost a knock-on effect from colonialism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if you study vexillology and you look at a lot of countries' history, a lot of people are very unaware of how their flags actually were designed and created. Like, I mean, if you look at the American flag, it's literally just a ripoff of the old, what is it?
British.
No, well, no, not just the British, but one of the corporate flags. It's literally almost exactly the same as the East India Company flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the stripes are exactly the same. The only thing that was changed was they took the Union Jack off and replaced it with stars.
That's interesting. So that's what you're talking about, Buhali, 1936 to 1954. So yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
that's essentially what it is. But you know what? It is what it is.
It's like, are you backtracking? Does it defeat the idea that we came up with it, or are we accepting?
No, because the thing is that the meaning still stands.
The meaning does
stand. I have no problem
yes.
with that. Yeah, the meaning still stands. It's an ocean star. It's you know what I mean? Like, it's the middle of the ocean. It's also, you know, the 5 Somalis. So the meaning still stands, even if that's not what it meant for the Italians.
It's what it means now.
This is what it means now. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So much like the definition of Gallo, right? It changes, right?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a great question. But yeah, so I think I'm hoping to revive these streams with your help. Secular Tekai,
Yeah.
you are always welcome. You're always
Perfect.
welcome on the panel. You can ask your question if they're not too political. No,
yeah.
You can ask whatever question you want, man. We will answer it the way we see fit. That's just how it goes. But yeah, any last comments? Because I was telling people I have to shut down because today is a Super Bowl Sunday. So
yeah.
you know what I mean? I gotta get ready.
No,
any last thoughts, Bohole, Secular?
I was just gonna in fact, Secular, I'll let you go first.
Oh no, I was just gonna say no. It was a good stream. Thanks for having me on. I'm subscribed, and I'll share the channel and all the other, Discord servers and groups that I know of that might be interested.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm personally waiting for the next All Blacks game.
Oh Lord. You know what? I like your conversations, man. Come back on. We'll have more combos.
All right. Well, this was fun. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
So I was just going to wrap it up with, I just want to echo your thoughts about making this place a safe space for all Somalis. So I don't think our brother, what's his name?
Zuluweb.
Yeah, you shouldn't think this place is where we come to debunk things, and I don't think that's the energy that we have.
But you know what's funny though? I've realized that energy is simmering down more and more.
We're here or
Clubhouse? I don't like both. Like on my online, escapades, if you will. Yeah, on my online escapades. Oh man, we're gonna make it a little longer. Look who just joined us. Ardal Marsudu.
Dhammaantiin waan salaamay.
Ninka dalmaro.
War buu hoodle.
Waa la isfayay.
Ari war dalmaro saaxiib. Ninkan waa Clubhouse waa isku aragnay.
Saaxiibayaal aad iyo aad baa u fiicnaa seetiin. Ma fiicantiin?
Fiican. Aad iyo aad.
Iga raali ahaada waan ka soo daahay maanta.
May waa.
Barnaamij codkayga si fiican loo malaa.
سفيع صح سفيع.
thank you guys وادين كصدها يقرأ لهذا
no problem صحيح. وحال حاسس
سالم
معايا
صاحب بوهول صاحبك بوهول واسرقنا وقتها هذيك لكن بوهول اسمع عرقنا
ورود كوجوغا
الله واتوق
تيجي أركين وكلجوغا لكن
it's in the background
وانا هاي صدها دنيو هاي وانا صدها هذا
absolutely
سيدات كان كاغا إلاليو
dad wala ma meesha joogay oo u baahan inay nafisaan
meesha hadda waa xoreysan meesha sidii hore ma soo laabo saaxib
absolutely waan soo noqonay waxaad sadde maanta isweydiinay dalmarow waxaan maanta isweydiinay waxa weeye ujeedadaydu maxay ahayd marka waxaan bilaabay sama fahmi waayo waan keer habsaameyn wiigadiina soo dhaafay oo busy waan iska noqday marka intaan isxasuusiya doonaya saaxiib waxaan u bilaabnayba waxaan markii ugu horeysaba maxaan ugu kalifay ayaan doonaya intaan maanta isxasuusiyo marka aad baan kugu mahadcelinaya intaad noo timid saaxiib aad baan kugu mahadcelinaya waxaa lagu leeyahay
سامي
Somali free takers how are you
سامي وسلامة يا كوكو مجوكتا أيضا كوكو بيج فايتان كمداس واو كوكو واكو سلامة ولا شيء
دمر in the house
هو يحتى ويجوكتا ماشي ولا جوكا
ها صاحي ولا جوكا ماشي waxaan day u fiirsadayna dalmarow dad badan baa ila soo hadlo ila soo xiriiray maxaa ku dhacay xitaa clubhouse jooga iyo instagramka xaka ila soo xiriido war maxaa dhacay war xaka ka dhacday day weydiiyay Soomaaliyeed aniguna waxaan isniyo waan kir hamaamay business waa iskir noqday marka dib oo inaan soo bilaabana sidii saaxiib
ما يصاحب برنامج كان مهم وها ويكند جميلة اسكوكو إيمانو كتشانو كشكايسنو وحس حسوسنو marka saaxiibina soo celino waa muhiim weeyaan runtiina soo celino marka dad culusna waa inoo balaminaya waxaa jira ustaad weyn oo la yiraahdo ustaad Usmaan la yiraahdo oo hadda book xataa ka qoraya diintii waa book ka qoraya hadda
igada
ninkaas waa nin cajiib ah wadankii buu tagay diimaha aad u baadhaa taariikhdu aad u baadhaa marka ninkaasna waa inoo balaminaya marka barnaamijka dib baan u soo celinayna saaxiibayaal naga raali lahaada haweeye iyo كوكا ينقرأ على هذا صاحب كيسون هذا
ما قوم يا جوجا حتى
روال بوحة ماشي يا أخي يا
نيو طالمرو سؤال مكوي تكرا
ها صاحب ها
نيو هرت إنا تفهمتيت واي أو نيجا فهمنا كل كان هرت you know English speaking people أنا وحنا هستموت هاي دب كلو زائدة مي فهمت حتى translation القرآن كوارت سيدي تذكر القرآن كترجمة حتى قابك يقول ديلان وارت قابك wax u qariyaan waa arqaaqi wax ugu daraan waa wax ka jaraan marka anaga dana English speakers xataa waxaan haysto mashaakil kala ma fahamtay damro way luqadii ma naqaano ma fahamtay marka saadana waa lagu turjumkin ninki turjumayna wuxuu wata fikir ma fahamtay damro waxaan ka wado
aadiyad saaxib aadiyad
so waxyaabaas marka inaan soo bandhigno aan tusno dadka ninkan oo translate at English waxaan qabnaa nilay Abdullahi Yusuf Ali ma ahay Picketto raggaas dad fiiris dalmaro ayad waxbay ku darayaan waxbay ka jarayaan dad qofka muslimka aan aqoon af Arabina ma fahmi karo in wax laga jeeyo wax lagu daro
ha saaxiibkii waa runta munaafiqiin badan baa ka jirta qaybka Ingiriiska maxaa yeelay dadka waxaan turjuma waa dad westiga badanaa jooga oo fahansan oo aqoon leh waay marka meelaha ceebaha ka imaanayo dhibaatada dhan ay og yihiin way qarinayaan marka hadda u fiirsatay hataa xadiisida hadda adoo u jeeda Carabigi ayay qarinayaan saaxib magnobiya saaxib soo dhawow aad iyo aad sucaad waa ku salaam walaal marka dhibaatadaas way jirtaa saaxib inaan si toos ah u soo bandhigno hadda markaa rabto hadda aad wadaadada Soomaalida hadda Sheekh Umar Faaruq Sheekh Xasaan Sheekh Umul waxa siday tahay u fasirayaan maxaa yeelay ayagu west maynan arkin aqoon kale maysan arkin siday ahayd bay u fasirayaan laakiin wadaadka London jooga ama Mareykanka ku nool noloshii buu og yahay wax walba khaldan buu fahansan yahay iskool buu soo dhigtay ha
anigu wadaadka ma hadlay anigu waxaan ka hadlaa the official translation of buuga
Pictolio Yusuf Ali
hada yaa fasiray hada walaalo yaa fasiray soo wadaadada ma waxa fasiray translation yaa sameynaya dadkan translation sameynaya waxay yihiin dad westiga jooga so way qarinayaan wixii si toos inay xunta u jeedaan wixii soo wixii maadaama ay u jeedaan inay fool xun tahay way ku daboolayaan way ku qarinayaan erayadii way ku bedelayaan barakadyo badan bay ku gelinayaan
waka bracketkaas hatta for example aayadoo kale wadriba hunna kale garaac baa la leeyahay laakiin nin oo baan meesha waxa ku nadqana beat them lightly waxaa idhi lightly yaa yiri lightly تكسر كش لايتلي
مفسر كوينا ويسترن كان عنك يدي
وايو لايتلي بوسوق لي وسيره خفيف ودل ميلاه باجي سيره خفيف
تصا بس يبهدل هذه تصا بس كسي بهدل هذه ما فاهم ثانيه شيء كذا وحدوني دلمرو انت برانش سو بانديغو يا اي دي انا عادي كان هلي سفع عنو واحد من دوني وحد سبربر ديجي Universal Declaration of Human Rights كا يا شريعه الله سي عادي حكوا ذي comparison straight comparison تلا سمايو أي دوني تلا سماينا معها حكوا ده ضاي تانو صوبان دقن دونا أين ولكن إبراهيم حيدي gotta be honest y'all are hella biased need to be more based okay I'm not sure what that means based صاحب so do ما كش كيسان كرنا
we banana joke at the beginning of the program
of course
نبى دودنا
oh wow okay I didn't know that
مغنوبي ورنتيس wuxuu ii soo diray research cusub
maaragtay yes مغنوبي وحسنا way soo dirtay waan haystaa ku soco
cajiib waa researchgaas hadda aragto wuxuu researchgaas wuxuu helay buugaagtii aramayga ku qorneed waa luqadii hore wax lagu qoran jiray barigii hore carabi iyo waxa ma jiri jirin moogta luqad aramayg la dhaho ayaa wax lagu qoran jiray barigii hore marka buug noocaasa la helay waa buugii quraanka ay ka soo koobiyeenba
masasa
marka quraanka u jeedaba asalkiisii u horeysay wuxuu ka imaaday diintii masiixiga ahayd waxyaabihii ducooyinkii waxyaabihii churchigii taariikhigii biblekii wax la isku geegeeyay oo dadku luqadda aramayga ay ku qorteen ayay dad yaqaanaa ka turjumo carabi u bedelay waaba intaaba quraanka lagu sheegayo
many sources wala warunta many sources niyo dalmaro ayantan you know what I've become really interested in waxaan ku sheegaya ayantan waxaan fiirshaa niyo this is quite interesting ayantan waxaan bartaa pre-Islamic Arabic dalmaro ma ogi qodobkaas inaad weli fiirisay waxaad arkaysaa nimankii poetry sameyn jiray carabtii intuun diinta islaamka imaan before intuu nabi maxamed intuun dhalan abwaankood waxaad arkay dalmar wallahi mucjisada very waxaad arkaysaa eraye iyo jumle isticmaalayaan oo ilaahayna quraankiisa ku isticmaalaya waad yaabaysaa jumle dhan waxaad arkay oo laga soo qaatay nin poet ama nin shaacir markaas waxaa lagu leeyahay aayad rasmi ah noqonaysa marka ilaahay ma dad mu soo koobi gareeha oo poetry sameyn jirtay pre-Islamic waad yaabaysaa walaa dalmar
صاحب آد بدناaba waxyaabaha mucalaqaad ku la oran jiray gobayadii iyo wax walbaba waxaad ku arkaysaa sida quraanka uu qoran yahay inay ku qoran tahay marka quraanka lagu sheegay waa isku keen maalin baan si fiican magnobia iyo uga hadli doonaa topicaas waa inaan keeno waliba buugina waan hayaa screenkan soo saaran karnaa meelaha iskaga midka yihiin meelaha laga soo qaatay wixii dhan waa isbarbar dhigaynaa topica kale aad keentana waa muhiim isagana waxaan hayaa buug shareecada oo waliba tashaaficiyada ayaa qodob aan ku taageernaa markaas UN-ta bini aadanka kay samaysteen shareecadii la yiri ilaahay bay ka timid waa isla fiirinaynaa waxaan leenahay marka yaa fiican labadooda
hade si ina fair wana loo eego labadaba waa isagdigo ma man-made laws mis God set laws wana isagdigno weeyaan laga hadlo laakiin eegan dalmaro saaxiib aad iyo aad maxku mahad celinaya waanu maxaa ka daayay waan soo gabagabeynay haydba waayo maanta in حكى جوجو سوبر بول كي وين دالبرو
سوبر بول كان وكحوم هاي هذا كبعد وكحساب
مي عادي وين ولكن وعادي وين
وكحساب سمايا هذا كبعدي برنامج هذا إنه سودجي وين أصحابتي دن عن سوق قبلنا ويان صاحب بدأ إنه دن وين سوق قبلنا
حتى نعيمة ترواني من يا حي جبتها صرمت في جبتها إنك لكن نقصو قاري ويدي لكن دبوا نسوا علينا دام آد بخجاه قصو مهل علينا صاحب أدينا بهذا علينا so أنقول نسيبه ده ولا يسوقيه لكن ده عدد سوق بجبين السن كلمة دي لا بكرة بدو دام مرة أدينا نوجه أدينا بهذا النص كده صاحب
ما يصاحب آدي هذا كاجا مهل علينا رنتي شقف يعني هيسا meeshaan waxay ahayd meel aan ku kulanno oo aan isku wareysano oo mar walbaba aan cilmigeena aqoonteena ku korarsano marka aad baan kaaga mahad celinaynaa barnaamijka noo soo celisay waana ka qayb qaadan doonaa axad walbaba waqtigii isaga ahaa waana ku faraxsanahay runtii asxaab qaali ayaan samaystay oo aad iyo aad qaali ugu aha waana u xiisa runtii inaan la kulmo la sheekaysto aqoontooda wax la wadaago hadday ahaan lahayd asxaabta wax qorta coco iyo sami iyo hadday ahaan lahayd asxaabta wax hadasha runtii aad iyo aad baa ugu faraxsanahay thank you saaxiib yaal
thank you dalmar saaxiib buhaleg no dhamer saaxiib
waad mahadsantahay aad iyo aad horta waxaan salaamaya nuno maad dalmar kulligiin and sidaa sheegayso meeshani waxay ahayd a safe space oo soomaalida dhan meeshaan qof walba welcome waaye dadka oo muslimiinta oo moderate dadka cilmaaniyiinta dadka waaqista LGBT macnaha qof oo la faquuqaya ama la takooraya ma jirto and I think waa very important especially English speaking waliba dalmaro sometimes anaga waxyariis waxaan nahay intimidated by Clubhouse markaan aragno meel af Soomaali lagu hadlayo marka sometimes you don't feel
horta first of all inta kuma celiya doonayna dalmaro saaxiib aad u masan tahay waxaan u diray like 2 paragraphs of English oo Soomaali igu turjumay ma ku yidhi ii soo diray aad kuma celiya saaxiib thank you
marka dalmaro jeclaan lahayn laakiin sometimes Soomaali way yaraan dhibaya marka this place waxay noo tahay marka gurigeena iyo hoygeena noo tahay marka intaas ku dhameynaa
thank you so much labadini way baan igu celiya I want to thank everybody that joined us today. And as we always say, there's Somali Nimo till we demo. Have a good night.
Yes, good night, sir.